This is Todd. So today we're going to open up these figures here. And again, this is not an actual true movie release figure. It's actually more of the new Revolution cartoon release. But as you guys know, Gwildor was in the movie first, and that's kind of what this is from. What is going on with his nose? Look at that. He's got like some orange on his nose. Now I know a lot of the toys in the 80s, the nose would get rubbed off. But it seems kind of weird they would make a version with a nose pre-rubbed off before you even used it. Anyway, let me go ahead and do a sound check really quick. But it seems kind of weird they would... Sounds great. All right, so let's take a look at this box right here. We have Gwildor and Orko. I want to make a separate Orko video hopefully later tonight as well. So it says, Gwildor, heroic creator of the cosmic key. Orko, heroic court magician. Now, for those, actually, that looks more movie-like than the one in the box. Interesting. Anyway, for those that don't know, when the He-Man movie came out in 1987, that someone corrected me, I appreciate that. Yesterday I said 89. They didn't make Orko. There was no Orko in the movie. They had Gwildor instead. So we all figured out that they probably couldn't make some flying little creature, so they gave us Gwildor as an Orko replacement. So this was like the Orko replacement in the movie. So to have them both in a 2-pack together is kind of funny, because technically it's like the same character, almost like how Blade and Triclops is the same guy. So is Gwildor and Orko. So anyway. Hey, Hyperdelic, thanks for joining us. James, thanks for being here. Juan Soto, thanks for being here. New and improved Orko? Interesting. Fried chicken sold separately. That'd be funny if it came with the fried chicken and the claw to grab it. That'd be classic. All right. So we've checked out all the cool artwork. Cool. Let's go ahead and open it up. Opening. I don't know why I spend so much time cutting these boxes open. I just throw them all downstairs and they end up in a pile, and then they end up in recycling, and then my wife smashes them to put them into the recycling bin. And here I carefully slice them open, show you guys the figures. Ooh, ah, there they are. And then I'll reach in and grab the accessories out. Zoop. Here's the accessory box, and we have some weird red cape thing. I'm guessing that's probably Orko's, being that it's the same color as him. And is that it? I can't tell. Yeah, it's the bottom of the box. That's the bottom of the box. All right, so let's see what we got for accessories here. We have a power sword that's glowing yellow on the end. This is very reminiscent of the blue glowing power sword we got with King Grayskull. And we also got a blue glowing, full glowing sword with Hero back in the Classics days. So this is kind of reminiscent of that, with that kind of glowing. Now all it is supposed to be clear plastic, so it can give that kind of glowing look if you hit the light on it. Burr, 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 burr. Anyway, there we go. And we got ourselves another cosmic key. This one looks more like the toy from the 80s. So we've seen a lot of cosmic keys in the past 2 days. And then we have his staff. And there's that crystal on top someone was telling me about yesterday during our video. Focus. Interesting. It's got a button here too. I guess you gotta shine a light on it to make that sound. Let's try it again. Here we go. Push the button. Dun dun dun. All right, that was fun. So let's bust these guys out of here. We'll compare them to the Orkos of yesteryear, some of them. I'm not going to do a whole lot of Orko comparison now because I want to do a whole Orko video here later tonight. And we'll have fun talking about the characters from the Orko world. Not to be confused with Orca, the whales. This is Orko. Oh, there's a hunk of plastic. And let's get Orko out of there. Now, you know what's funny? If you remember Lord of the Rings, we had Gandalf the Grey. And Gandalf the Grey, he wore gray clothes. Later on, we had Gandalf the White, and you've guessed it, he wore white clothes. And also his beard was white, too. So is this Orko the White? Yeah, he has the white motif going on. Ugh. I am Orko the White. Dun dun dun. What's going on with this down here? I think that's where his cape goes. It does feel like his cape fits in there, but that can't be right. It's probably for these rings here. He has rings like the last Avatar. Now, Orko was originally created so that kids would have an avatar into the He-Man world. Hey, there's more stuff in here. Look at that. We got Winds of Power. You know what? These would be cool for Cyclops. Hold on a sec. Turn on Do Not Disturb.
Okay, Do Not Disturb is now on.
There we go. Now people can't call me. All right, so there are the power orbs. Waterbender. Yeah, that's what it's for. It's for his jump rope. He's doing double dutch. Double dutch jump rope. All right, then you can stick these twisty bomb things onto his wrists here. It's like a dog, those dog things that they wear to keep them from scratching. The Cone of Power. Cone of Power! Not to be confused with the Cone of Silence. Now, I have to admit, this Orko does have some pretty cool things. I mean, he's got a stand right here that gives him extra lean-in power. And then he's got an extra articulation point way up inside there. So that's cool. So you can do a lot of interesting effects with that. His head moves. His arms move, I'm guessing. Yep. Looks like they pop out too, maybe. Can't tell. Does his elbows move? Yep, he's got a little joint in there for his elbows. And then, of course, his hands do not move. No articulation point on his wrists. So there is Brother Orko. I'm not a huge fan of the white. That's why I was making fun of it, calling it Orko the White. But so let's go ahead now and add his extra cape on there. He's got a hole right here for his cape. So we'll just pop that right on. Or not a hole, but a bump. Hole here, bump there. There we go. And then try to get that to cover back up the bump. So he's got the red carpet on his back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Now I am glad the stand in this is clear, so that's cool. They had to invent plastic that changes color so you can choose what color you want. There you go. That would be cool if they chose that. Now they do have some color changing plastic, as you guys know. It changes color with hot water, cold water. So they do have some things like that, but to have it stay that color, not the easiest. All right, let's move on to Gwildor. Gwildor the Great. So like I mentioned before, he's got this orange on his cheek and nose. It looks like the paint's been worn off his nose, but it hasn't, because I'm guessing that is actually plastic color. I don't think that's paint on his face. The orange is paint, but just a little bit too much on the orange on his nose. And he comes with a staff. There he goes. And articulation points, we have ankle articulation. We have a single jointed knee. We have some upper movement there on his leg. His waist does turn. Ooh-ah. He has shoulder movement. He has this little ring around his upper bicep. Then he has elbow joint movement. Looks like there's something extra on mine there. And then his wrists move too. And then of course his head moves. And oh, they went with the look at that. Look at this. I do not like these breaks so easy. It's a circle ring in there that's connected to a pole. And so these will snap really easy. So be careful. It has really thin plastic around the ring, which will cause that to just snap off at the slightest little. I don't know which way it's supposed to go. It was on originally this way, so I guess I'll put it back that way. Ugh, that's scary. All right, let's go ahead and look at the other Gwildors in this video. So here is the Gwildor we got with classics. And to tell you the truth, which is probably surprising for me because I'm a huge classics fan, I actually like this aesthetic better than this aesthetic. And maybe it's the head. Maybe that's the part that drives me crazy. I'm going to go ahead and do a head swap on him. And I even like the hands better on this one. I don't know, it just looks strange. So I guess a head swap is not going to fix my hand problem. All right, let's see, how are these hands connected? Okay, they have pins. Let's go ahead and do some swapping and see how he looks after a bunch of swapping. I don't think I'm going to be able to improve on this actual build. This is actually a really good build. I'm not a fan of the movies I said yesterday. His ears are articulated? No way. They are. Look at that. Now that is funny. He has 800 points of articulation, including the 3 points of articulation to his ears. Here, here, and there. No, only 1 point of articulation. All right, into the water for you. Not the water. You know, I don't know if I want to change him at all. I think I just like him just the way he is. Yeah, I like him better than the movie one all the way around. I just am not a fan of the super hyper detailing like this they have on the movie figures. I like this more, a little bit cartoony look. Now he's just a little bit past the cartoony look for me. I wish he had just a little bit more realistic details, but all in all, not bad. So never mind. I am not going to rip his head off. You know what? We gotta do it anyway. We gotta test this out. We gotta see how it looks. Into the hot water for you. Oh, blub, 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 blub. Not the hot water. Of course, I got his head off before the hot water. I can just take him out of there. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna move my carpet because I do not want to ruin this carpet here. All right, Billy Baxton, let's go ahead and put you in there. Blub, 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 blub. He is the son of a goat and a human. Wow, boil him. Boil him now. There we go. Let's see if the heat reached. It did. It went all the way in there. It's a little bit loose. It's going to require some heat shrink tubing or something else. But, you know, I do like that better. That does give a pretty good aesthetic. All right, let's get his hands off and see if we can't swap hands, too. His hands might just be able to pull off. Oh, and they do. Hooray. His hands won't come so easily. So let's go ahead and dunk him in there. Dunk him, don't it? Dunk, dunk, dunk. Takes so long. Binging with Hebrew. Yes, Blade would be kind of cool too. What I'm really hoping for is Lubbock and some of the other figures. Yeah, it's going to take a whole lot more hot water than that. Okay, stretch your arms, little dude. Ugh. No, not the hot water. So let me show you my Lubbock plan that I was planning, which is failing miserably. Is I have a head. Where is that head? There it is. Whoop. Now, this head, to me, looks a lot like Lubbock's head. Now, granted, this is actually the head from the Mandalorian. No, Boba Fett. And I thought Boba Fett's head looks so much like Lubbock. You know, or the guy Strickland from Back to the Future. I was going to say Jack in the Box. Back in the Future. And then I was going to find a body for him. And I found this really awesome body from the Halloween 2 figure set. And this detective right here, I think would make a great body for Lubbock. And height-wise, he's about the same height as He-Man. He-Man. It's hard to tell because the camera angle is kind of throwing it off, but they're about the same height. But it looks like He-Man's bigger because he's closer to the camera. But the problem is this little beanie head is just not going to work on that body. It's like, man. So I was thinking maybe scanning this in, really high res, do some touch-ups on it. Then I still got to paint this thing. So I don't know. I'm still debating. Maybe it's not the best Lubbock body. I know it doesn't have a striped tie or the exact color. I think Lubbock had brown, darker brown, but you would think Lubbock would wear clothes like this. So anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to follow through with that build or not. I'm still thinking about it. So anyway, his parts should be done by now. Cooking in here. Ugh. Let's go ahead and stick in this cartoon hand. Boop. Oh yeah. That already looks 1,000 times better. Yeah. And the head. Oops, wrong head. And the head. Oh yeah. I am digging that. Like sugar smacks. I'm digging it. We just need to put some O-rings in there. Or heat shrink tubing or something. And that will be perfect. Let me go grab something to stick in there. Let me go find my heat shrink tubing or my O-rings. Usually I have them in here. But this time I pulled them out. So you guys can look at the cool half build. Smells like broiled chicken. I'll be right back, you guys. Alright, I am back with a heat gun, heat shrink tubing, O-rings, and Z-Works. So I am ready. I'm ready. Alright, we'll try O-rings first because that's the easiest repair for this. A hot, toxic Joker bath. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, you know what? I'm using heat shrink tubing. I was debating which way to go, but I think the heat shrink tubing will be the best. It's for the best, man. Let's try this one here. Oh, too small. This one's a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, that will work. That will work just dandy. Now I'm going to shove it all the way down into the neck piece. Because the neck is just a little bit wobbly. This should fix the wobble too while we're at it. Wobble, wobble. And we'll cut this a little long on purpose, and we'll cut it shorter if we want. Later. Jam on it. Jam on it. Jam on and on and on and on it. There we go. Yes. That will work nicely. You can see how I stuck the heat shrink tubing on there. Now we're going to heat up the heat gun, do a little shrink on it. Then we'll compare him to the other one once I'm done, because I have more than one of these Gwildors. I gotta disconnect my hot water to plug in my heat gun. Do a little preheat on it first. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Alright, here we go. I've been working on the action figures. all the live long day. All right. Check that out. That should be more than enough to make the difference up. Let me go get rid of this heat gun so I don't burn myself. I've been burnt before on it. I'm gonna go drop it off in the other room. I'll be right back. I shot this heat gun's hot. I don't want to burn myself, so I put it in here. You can use that bathroom. You should use the other one. All right, the heat gun has been moved out. Ugh, I should put Lubbock's head on him. Burp, 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 burp. Now I got the heat shrink tubing on there, it won't fit, but that would have been. Okay, they'll pull that back off. And is it cooled down yet? Just about. A little bit more cooling and it will be ready. Red eye. Ugh. There we go. Dun da da, da 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 da, dun da da, da 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 da. Okay, here's the comparison now between the two. So much better. Enough detail now that you can still have it so it fits good at classics, but not too much detail so it doesn't look kind of weird like this head does and these hands do. Now, granted, this blue does not match perfectly. I don't care. I don't care. That will be good though. And his hands are kind of big, but that's all right. His skin tone matches. I'm pretty happy with his build. Ugh. Yeah, that will be good. Well, yeah, it's bottoming out all right. I was wondering if it was bottoming out on the bottom right there on the neck, and it is. It actually hits right on the neck all the way down there. So without doing some major alteration, like cutting out this ring right here, it can't go any lower. So I was hoping to seat it just a little bit lower, but I think that'll be okay. Looks like snarf, snarf, snarf. All right, so quick vote. Now, I didn't get a third one. Pretend like this one's complete still. And I want to know what you guys like best. Because obviously I don't have another one to rebuild. So do you like the original classics, my hybrid, or this one untouched, how it looked before I pulled off the head and hands? And I will wait for your... I guess I could stick these little beanie hands on there. So 1, 2, and 3. And 3 is the normal build, not the way I'm doing them now. I just wanted to throw the old parts on to see what it would look like. Oh, that looks horrible. That looks horrible! Oh well, let me pull them back off because that's not what I'm asking. Ugh. Oh, that hand is stuck. Okay, Sparkle Wolf. I'll go ahead and toss his head on there too. Gotta first boil it some more. Oh, the hot water's been turned off. Ooh, is it gonna be hot enough to... Let's just plug that back in now that the heat gun's done. And remember, number 3 is the unaltered Gwildor from Masterverse, not my pieced meal together spare parts. Yeah, that water's down to 159. It may not get hot enough. That sure cooled down quick. Look at that. Usually I like to have it around 205 for it to have enough heat. It's still going down. Oh, we'll see if it just got warm enough to pop that head on there. Pop you in the head. There we go. Now remember, number 3 is not for this figure. It's for this figure before I altered it. So let's see what you guys got. Dwight says number 2. One is the hobo. The other one is not. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I see the hobo vibes from the classic version. This is what happens to Gwildor after they dropped him from the franchise after the film. Oh. Tie between OG Masterverse and the hybrid for me. Reanimator horror movie. Orko looks good. Okay. Thanks, Dwight. All right. So, obviously, I already told you guys this is my favorite. Head's is still wobbling. I'm going to have to sand that O-ring out of the middle there, just so his head can sit lower. I guess it's time to get the Dremel tool out. I may wait on doing that, just in case I decide to change him up some more. I should get some alcohol, though, and clean that orange off his nose. That is kind of annoying. Annoying. I know, it looks so weird. What is going on with his forehead there? It's like he rubbed the chicken sauce all over his face. This one doesn't look quite as bad. This one doesn't have some of those brown marks. I don't know what happened to this one. That's just crazy. Even his hair, he's got like brown streaks, and he doesn't have as many brown streaks. So somebody just went a little crazy with the brown wash on him. And it wasn't me. That's just the way he came. That's just the way he came. All right. I'm going to take all these parts back so I can put them back to original configuration if I choose to. But he is going into my movie box now because I like him. Just like that. I may come back and change the color of this blue to match his purplish blue on there. That is some big hands. Big hand Sam. And his hands are even bigger than He-Man's hands. Hug! You know what'd be funny is to cut off his last finger there. And just make his hands have 3 fingers only. That way it'll make his hands look smaller. Give him more of a cartoon look. I could do it. He's like, cut off my finger. No! Like something you'd see in a mafia movie. I think it's so funny his ears are articulated. That is hilarious. Is his too? No. Alright. That's it for this video. He-Man sword with him. Yeah. Sparkle Wolf says, okay, I looked up how I looked in the film. Seems the classic one is pretty close. But the new 2-pack just looks better designed. Yeah, I mean, it does look like the movie. He does look like that. But, like you said, just because it looks like that doesn't mean you have to design the figures the same way, right? Am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? That does look so much better. And I've disliked Gwildor for way too long. Now I don't have to anymore. ugh. Even the Gwildor from the 80s toy wasn't that great. It was funny. My kids had a small little ice cream little cart for their figures. And the ice cream spoon fit perfectly in Gwildor's hand. It was hilarious. It's like a Barbie-sized scoop. You know what? Let's see if I can find a picture of that. I might have a picture of that on my website. Let me take a look and see. Let me go to he-bro.com. He-bro.com. Oh, that's the equal sign. It's not the dash. Bro.com. Okay. Let's see if I can find. Where's the townies? Up. I don't think I have a picture of Gwildor on here. Where's the bee tender? There he is. Yeah, see, there's the ice cream scoop we used to stick in his hand. That big scoop right there is just so huge it fit in Gwildor's hand perfectly. Anyway. Oh, let me get back to your guys' comments. Oh, yeah, you'd think it was a puppet, but actually it was played by a famous actor. I forgot his name now. It was Billy something. And, oh, there you go. Billy Barty. Thank you. And, you know, for what he was told to do, he did a really good job. You know, but again, you can only do so much what you can with the part and makeup and everything else that they give you. You can't go beyond what the director allows you to do. So, but as far as what he was told to do and what he, you know, was supposed to do, I think he did just fine for what he could do. I gotta get some of my acid-free bags to put these parts in. So, you know, thinking about it, I'm probably not going to make a Lubbock. I just hope they make one. But I'll probably have to sell that Halloween 2 set again on Fleabay to somebody. Now I have more cosmic keys. More cosmic keys. There's supposed to only be 2. Well, now I got like 20. Well, not 20, but I have a whole bunch. Oh. Somebody asked me if Blade's armor comes off. So I got him right here. Let's check this out and see. And it does. Look at that. You can pull off Blade's armor. So it is fully removable. So for that guy who asked if you're on here, yes, you can pull off Blade's armor. Can you put it back together? That's the hard part, right? There we go. I got one side. I assumed you could, but I wasn't sure as I never actually did it. I never customized any blades or never really had a reason to. All right. And again, he was kind of the Triclops of the movie. So if you remember right, we watched Triclops, not watched them. You see the comic book where he was a master swordsman. And that's what Blade is. He's a master swordsman. So he's pretty much like Triclops. So, and he has a special eye thing too. So you can kind of see he does have a lot of the same things Triclops would have. It's like, just make Triclops. I mean, yes, the guy who played him did an awesome job again. But It's like, just take that actor, make him Triclops. But I suppose the producers of the movie probably thought it'd be too weird to have a guy with 3 eyes. I don't know. All right, that is all that I got. Oh, happy holidays, man. Merry Christmas. Could you make... What is that, Tullamore? Custom out of Gwildor. I don't know. That's a good question. Yes, he was also in Willow and Legend. Look at that. I made a new piece for my throne set. You can see the piece in the background. I made a bigger one. Way cool. So it's all starting to come together. I just ordered some more parts today from Amazon, so it's all coming together. Now what to do with this guy, right? Put Lubbock's head on him. Boop. Ho! And I guess he could make kind of a cool dwarf character. I guess I could sell him online for whoever wants the pieces. That's so weird he has this armband. He has it on both sides. Maybe I should take those and put them on the other Gwildor. I don't know. They did a huge faker puppet. Oh, I'm sorry, Falkler puppet for Neverending Story. They could have made a Battle Cat. Yeah, they could have done Battle Cat. They could have done so much cool stuff. That's why Masters of the Universe movie just so disappointed me. 1, too many Earth scenes, not enough Eternia scenes. The Castle Grayskull we saw was not my Castle Grayskull. There wasn't enough characters we already knew. They had to create new characters. It's like, why? Why make new characters? We have some great characters already designed. So that, and then of course there was no Prince Adam. Not that I'm a fan of Prince Adam, but the lore was already set. Filmation was already going. Either make it a barbarian movie or don't. But don't make it half and half. That was too weird. All right, you guys, you've heard enough griping and complaining from me. I've been complaining about it for 40 years, almost. Yeah, I heard that too. The movie ran out of money. I wonder which was closer, the Mario film or He-Man film. And you know, I think that's kind of a cop-out. I'm sorry about the running out of money. When it comes to costumes and designs, they could have done something. We've seen some awesome cosplayers make some great stuff. And we've seen some movies that are lower budget that were just amazing. I mean, look at Street Fighter versus Bloodsport. Bloodsport, amazing, fun. It was an awesome Street Fighter movie. And when they actually made Street Fighter, they totally botched it up. They should have just took Bloodsport and re-released it. But here's to 40 more. Let's see. Actually, Cyborg was supposed to be the sequel. Yes, that's what I heard. Cyborg was a sequel to Masters of the Universe and Spider-Man or something like that, or some crazy thing. They took sets from both movies and combined them to make Cyborg. All right. That is all that I got, you guys. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and like they say in the 1987 movie, good journey. Bye now.